welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 241. I got a little bit carried away there and forgot the number. I'm your co-host, Kiley Wilde, and I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Peter Beckett.
Hello. It's a weird, just the two of us episode.
Just the two of us, yes. Which means I don't have a guest to ask this next question that I'm going to ask, and that question is, Pete, how has your week been? But more importantly, what's she been playing?
Weeks.
Bruv.
Yeah, bruv. The week's been thick, yeah, isn't it? No, it's been well hot, isn't it? It's just been horrible.
Man's not hot.
I said man's not hot. I mean, man is freaking hot.
Very hot.
Jesus.
I'm sweating to death.
Like I said before,
Anyway.
I've got a grey t-shirt on. Anything below camera point is not being seen. So yeah, it's not good. But yeah, it's been a week. It's been a week.
It has. It's been 7 days.
It has, and I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to play football on a Thursday night and play golf on a Friday night when it was stupidly hot.
In the middle of a UK heat wave
Yes.
for our American audience.
And then
who
go
doesn't know.
for-
Well, the rest of the world.
And then go for what kind of walk was it? Oh, do DIY work
gosh.
on a Saturday morning and a walk to the
I
local
went for a
town.
walk too. Yeah, that was so dumb. After, we'll get to my stuff later,
Yeah,
but yes.
really dumb.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I almost died. Not really, but anyway.
It feels like it though.
Oh yeah. In terms of the week of gaming, the week of gaming has been a week of gaming, and it's not been a lot, but I've been playing a few things. So,
Yes.
been playing a bit more Street Fighter 6 because why not? It's
Nice.
Street Fighter 6 on the Switch too.
Why not, indeed?
I'm not going to talk too much about it because I talk about it at length quite usually, so just more ranked matches. Be on the lookout because there will be a review coming out for it off on myNintendo64.com. Supposed to be done this weekend, but too hot and too stupid. And also had company this weekend, so could not do so.
Bueno, Brincemente.
Bueno. Also played a little bit more of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater on the Switch 2 as well. It's not been enhanced for the Switch 2 in any way, shape or form as far as I'm aware. It just runs.
It just works.
It's also one of those games that I go back and play now, and I'm like,
Right.
how did I ever play this? The controls are needlessly complex for no apparent reason. It's a bit weird. But narratively speaking, it's still a real fine game. And how did I ever go through without ever getting caught? I don't know. Because, I mean, the AI is dumb as hell, but I'm just terrible at the game now.
I'm not good at I love them. I do enjoy playing them. If you know me at all, I'm terrible at any stealth at all.
You're terrible at stealth? Really?
I know, shocked.
The Hitman streams that you do, I'm so surprised.
Like, hi!
Yeah.
Shoot them in the face. But yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So other than that, it's basically been a Switch 2 a week this week. Played a bit more Mario Kart World, so I actually ventured into the world of online Knockout Tour. And my god, is Knockout Tour chaotic and ridiculous at the best of times. Good fun,
right?
But quite intense. So, Knockout Tour, for those who are not sure about Mario Kart World's new mode, it's 24 racers that basically race across 6 different tracks, including the sections between the tracks. At each checkpoint, a number of racers will go out. So it starts with 24, goes to 20, then 16, then 8, then 4, and then until you're crowned a winner. I haven't made it to the final 4 yet, and I've done about 10 races. It's been tough. So you get to a point where you're like, I'm doing really well, and then everyone just starts throwing everything at you, and you can drop down from like 3rd to 16th, and it's just stupidly intense. It's good fun though. For a new mode, it's actually not bad. So I intend to play a little bit more of it. I have just most of the other stuff that I've been doing this week is just checking patches and just seeing what runs well on the Switch 2. Disappointingly, Fall Guys has not had a patch yet, so still runs at the crappy 30 frames per second. So, literally booted it up, loaded the character screen, and went, oh, he's still rotating at 30 frames. Off. Wait until update. I then ventured into a couple of games of Tetris 99. The loading for that is now super quick, which is great. It means you can get into games excellently quick. It's amazing.
Right.
Tetris 99 is just a great game anyway, so that'll be one I might come back to at some point. The main one, because it did actually have an official patch with new weapons added, frame rate's been increased as well in certain areas of the game. Splatoon 3.
Oh, yes.
So they've added a whole new batch of weapons, so I think it's each weapon class has like a new weapon in it. Which is great because the arrow shot has now got a new weapon variation with new specials, so you need to unlock it. But the main hub area is now running at 60 frames rather than 30 frames, which is very, very noticeable.
Interesting.
So I've jumped into a few turf wars last night, I think it was. Must have played about 7-8 games. The loading is super quick nowadays as well, apart from when you first boot the game up. It's still relatively slow, but actually hopping from match to match is really quite nice now because it's just such little load time in between each one. And the game is still relatively fun, even though I still don't think it's as good as Splatoon 2, but the quality of life updates they made to the online actually does help.
That's good.
So,
that's very good.
Yeah, I'm going to do some more testing of stuff on Switch 2 and see what the quality is like on the old Switch versions and see whether or not it's improved. So, expect that over the next coming weeks. Anyway, how's your week been and what have you been playing?
For our lovely, lovely listeners who can't see anything, I am riggedy wrecked. But in a good way, not in a terrible. I mean, it's the heat.
I mean, it's terrible.
It's terrible. I'm very sick right now. But I got very sick this week. But that doesn't matter because you know what I did? I played games, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Monday, I played a game called The Red Lantern. Now, it's an interesting concept. Basically, it's an indie game where you are running a sled team of dogs. I forgot what those are called. Dog sleds? Yeah, that's it. And you're in Alaska.
Oh, is that what you were playing? I couldn't
That's
remember.
what I was playing.
Jesus.
Yeah, and you can pick your dogs. You get to know your dogs, and you can pick your team. I wanted to adopt all the dogs. The dogs are really well done. They each have personalities. And yes, you can pet them, which is all that matters. And you can toggle whether they die or not. And of course, I turned that SOB off where dogs could... I didn't want the dogs to die.
I'm not having doggy death on streams.
No. That's just not my thing. You can kill a human lady that was playing, but
I mean,
she doesn't die either.
That's fine.
She doesn't die though. But it's cool because it's kind of a choice-based thing, and it's almost a roguelike in a way, in that you die and you keep your stats.
Okay.
And they can improve and stuff. So each iteration. So that's kind of cool. And the encounters are random. My microphone. But I can't say that there's not a lot of replayability or longevity. Put it that way.
No.
It's well done. It's strong. I got it in a Steam sale for like £1 or something, or £1.50. So keep your eyes open for that.
Nice.
It is worth that. I'd say anything under £5, it's completely worth it. You're going to get an enjoyable experience. So then I played a very, very fun game that I enjoyed very much because I have the emotional capabilities, capacity, and humor of a 12-year-old. It's called Toilet Chronicles. And it takes place inside of a public restroom stall. And it, too, is a kind of, I guess, roguelike in a way. In that every time you die, you come back. And there's like a little bit of a change, improvement. But it is, as you suspect, full of toilet humor, as it should be.
No poop.
Because there's only one mention. It's not even a mention of poop, but you have to rescue a gnome, a garden gnome.
I know. I was going with the adage of no S, but decided to be PC.
Oh yes, very good. But I did laugh for a solid 5 minutes because I found a pooping gnome, garden gnome.
Because of course you did.
I did, and I will clip that and post it this week because it still cracks me up. Because I am a child on the inside. But I mean, have you seen my stream? But
yes,
yes, it was a lot of fun. It too is another one that goes on sale frequently over on Steam. Indie game, one developer, lot of meme humor, which I love. So a lot of SpongeBob meme humor, especially, but there's lots of little callbacks there. So I enjoyed that, and it was like done in hour 30. So it's excellent.
Not too bad. One stream, nice and easy.
Yeah. And then a bad thing happened. Well, two bad things happened. Because the whole reason I chose Red Lantern and Toilet Chronicles is because my inline adapter died or something.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't know. Yeah. I still don't know what happened. So I was only on Wi-Fi for those 2 days. But then I got the inline adapters to work. But I guess because my computer had been offline, because it doesn't stay on Wi-Fi, that's like for some reason that shuts down. I don't really understand it. There's a bunch of like automatic updates that didn't happen. And I'm not one of those people who looks as soon as they turn their computer on. I don't pay attention. I have it all automated for a reason. So I went and I loaded up Resident Evil 8, which I play on Fridays. Yeah. So, not just one update. But anyway, so I started it, and all of a sudden my stream started dropping frames. 32% frame drops.
Ew.
It's like, what? And then I could see the loading screen in front of me, Resident Evil 8, it was like jittery and jittery and awful. I was like, what is going on? I always play this. And it's an old game. And I have a very, advanced system, blah, blah, blah. I tried to adjust things, nothing. Finally, I did look at my system tray. Because, again, I don't check things. This is for anyone out there who has maybe done the same thing I have done. Which is, there is a lot of updates. If you have an NVIDIA chip, you should probably double check. Because there is a butt ton of updates.
Always check your driver updates.
Yep, game-specific driver updates. Doom being the number one, which I am excited to see if they fix that. But yeah, just this whole massive list of games. So I had to update that, and I started playing Scorn, but Scorn seems to be soft-locked. I think it's got a glitch. So I had to go out of that, and then I was going to start Doom, and then I did it. I started Resident Evil. Poor Nana. He had to earn his money. Because he had to change the title like 5 times.
Of course.
And but finally I did get Resident Evil to play for an hour. Because it wasn't, I don't think it was the driver that failed at the end of that hour. My water cooling system has failed on my PC.
Because of course you've got water cooling in your system. Just use a fan like a regular person.
Well, maybe I should, because it overheated and I couldn't finish the game.
Well, I can tell you why, and this is exactly the reason why. I've been having issues with my internet connection the last few days, especially whilst working, because of the heat.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize, and so hopefully if you're listening to this and you don't know this, you can learn this. The heat affects so much on your PC. From, like Pete's saying, the Wi-Fi connection to the actual wired connection to the inline adapters to the daggum PC itself, the GPU.
Yep, everything. Because you're giving off heat and you've already got a hot room.
Yep.
In a house that's supposed to retain heat, it's got nowhere to cool properly. Yeah,
and that's why at least I didn't realize. I mean, I had the head knowledge, but I didn't think about it because I work a lot, and I used to work a lot around IT. Just my offices would be located in the IT department, even though it was not
Yeah.
IT. The rack rooms were
Oh,
always freezing cold that summer. Well, there's a reason for that, because computers only work in cold weather. So make sure that your room is cold, or your PC might not work.
yeah.
And that is your Kiley fact for the day.
Thank you.
But
That's very helpful.
and then I do want to say an apology to my wonderful, beautiful, fabulous chat, who I love and adore, that I was supposed to stream yesterday, but I was sick as a dog.
Yes.
I was very ill. I couldn't. So apologies for that. I will make it up next week when I'm less sick. Hopefully.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
That concludes my presentation.
And also, we do actually need to finish Split Fiction.
We do.
Yes.
100% we do.
I'm going to try either next week or the week after. We'll get to it. I'll talk to you about it anyway.
Yep.
Cool.
No worries there. What are we going to talk about today?
We're
While I drink and try not to throw up.
We're talking about news. Yeah.
News. Boo, 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 boo.
So we haven't got a Switch 2 Spectacular or whatever it was the week before.
Extravaganza.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, we're back to our regular show, just the two of us.
Yeah.
Just
the two of us.
I mean, there's been some news. Oh yeah, we did a showcase, the showcase round last week, didn't we? So
with Nana, yeah.
Yes, we did. So yeah, this is the problem. We've always got a bit of a come down after the old showcases and the E3. So there's not really much that's been going on, unless of course you're an idiot. No, there's been quite a lot going on for some reason this week, because there's been some idiotic things that have happened. And some good stuff. So let's talk.
I can never predict it.
Oh, we've got a lurking pie. It's calling on the windowsill. Cool.
Yes.
Anyway, so I'm wondering where we start first. Do we start with stupidity?
Ooh, I do like stupidity.
Oh, let's start with some stupidity, shall we?
Okay. Yes.
This one from an unexpected company. Nintendo.
Okay, Pete.
Because a poster for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has been spotted in the London Underground, which claimed the game was out now. Which it hasn't, of course.
Oh my. Yes. How on earth did that go over?
Well, there's a possible reason behind it. There might be an update for it, so...
okay.
So, an image for the ad, which was captured by VGC. So, yeah, I'm using VGC. They actually went on location to find this, by the way.
Very cool. Very cool.
At Oxford Circus Tube Station in London. So that's the subway system for the US listeners. Gives information on Metro Prime 4. No, you haven't. No, because we walked from London Bridge over to Brick Lane when we did WSD. And
which was awesome.
Great walk.
Yeah, because I got to see the London Bridge. It was amazing.
Well, no, actually, that was the other way. You went over Tower Bridge.
That thing.
Yeah.
See, I don't know names of things. And there was really cool buildings, and it was a big city, and I'm from Texas, so that was new.
Yes.
Anyway.
so yeah, it gives information on Metro Prime 4 along with the Out Now message. At the time of writing, Metro Prime 4 doesn't have a release date, and the game hasn't been shadow dropped on this Nintendo Switch 2 eShop. So VGC had visited the London Underground station in question and can confirm the poster did indeed say Out Now, as seen in the photo in the article. However, we also spotted a similar Mario Kart World poster alongside it, seen below or in the article, featuring the same Out Now message. Well, it's actually identical. Like the Out Now is identical by the two posters. It is therefore possible that whoever created the ads copied the template over for Prime 4 ads and forgot to remove the Out Now part. This is solely speculation on VGC's part, of course, because there is a so in the line of posters you've got Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Party Jamboree plus whatever it's called TV, Jamboree TV. The release date is on the Jamboree TV one and Donkey Kong Bonanza, but out now for Mario Kart and Metroid. So they have literally just carbon copied, I think.
Yeah.
So
I've done that before myself.
So I'm going to refute my point and say this is probably not stupidity from Nintendo, probably the advertising company, but how Nintendo signed this off is actually a bit stupid before it went live.
To be fair, now, I will say this as a professional graphic designer. Pete is correct in that you get given an assignment or a job or whatever your company calls it or you yourself call it.
Mm-hmm.
Things do not go to print until you have the written approval from the company. So yes, this means that Nintendo approved that. It's just somebody wasn't paying attention.
Or what they have done is they've approved it before the fact that they've seen it and then gone, oh no, there's egg on my face now.
Yeah. Bad on them.
I'll get to that comment from Nana in a minute once I finish the article. That aside, it's still notable that the game is getting such prominent advertising alongside other soon-to-be-released Switch 2 games like Bananza, Mario Party Jamboree TV, suggesting that while the game isn't out now, a release date announcement could soon be on the way.
I would think so. I would absolutely agree with that.
The update from this, which was updated 2 days ago, so on Friday, as we record, Nintendo spokesman has told VGC that the advert date is incorrect and Metro Prime is not out now. No duh. We can confirm that the out now message on the advert is incorrect. This is a quote. Metro Prime 4 Beyond and Prime 4 Beyond Nintendo Switch 2 editions are not available yet and are scheduled for release for 2025. So Nana's put it in the chat. He said, I did look this up again today. It has not been updated from what I can tell. So even though they have acknowledged that this is incorrect, they haven't gone out of their way to put a new poster up.
Yeah.
Silly, but also very funny at the same time.
It is. Human error.
Oh yeah, you gotta love a bit of human error, but like, you'd think that a company as meticulous with their advertising as Nintendo usually is, would actually be on top of this.
Get this, AI would never do that. Haha, checkmate AI users.
Yes, but AI puts
AI
6
would never
fingers
do
on.
human error. That's true.
Yeah, so it does create errors. Like
yes,
I am error.
It does. Ha! Aww.
Anyway.
I love error.
I know. Yes.
My favorite villager.
So, do we go with? I'm gonna let you choose the next item, and we're gonna go. Okay. I'm gonna number them, so we'll go from 1 to 4.
Okay. Free.
Free. Oh.
Yes.
You chose the biggest news of the week.
Of course I did.
So, how do you feel about Microsoft announcing an agreement between themselves and a company that might be making their hardware?
Depends on who the company is, and I don't know ahead of time.
Microsoft has announced a multi-year agreement with AMD to create chips for their future devices, which it says will not be tied, quote, to a single store or device.
Wow, okay, that's a lot to take in. That's what she said.
Yeah, well, bearing in mind, I'll get into this. Shall we save the thought for now?
Yes,
Let's read through the article,
yes.
then we can comment on it, because I think there might be some rampant speculation that comes about from this, like everyone else has done online. So the news was shared in a brief video published on Tuesday, beginning of the week as we record, in which Xbox President Sarah Bond pledged to deliver, quote, deeper visual quality, immersive gameplay, and AI-powered experiences. Yeah, buzzword. AMD chips power the current Xbox Series consoles, as well as the upcoming Xbox-branded Portal PC, the Xbox ROG Ally, and the Ally X. The latter runs the new Xbox UI on top of Windows, allowing users to access other storefronts such as Steam, GOG, and Epic Games Store. It's possible Xbox's other future devices will adopt a similar approach, with Bond stating that Microsoft's gaming arm is, quote, working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming.
Right, okay.
So this is a quote, and I'll just read it in full. We've established a strategic multi-year agreement, so this comes from the video, by the way, which was literally 1 minute and 22 seconds or something like that.
That's crazy.
We've established a strategic multi-year agreement with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next-generation Xbox consoles. So they've essentially soft confirmed or soft announced their new line of consoles.
Okay.
Together, we're delivering deeper visual quality, immersive gameplay, and AI-powered experiences, grounded in a platform designed for players, not tied to a single store or device, and fully compatible with your existing Xbox game library. Quote, at Xbox, our vision is for you to play the games you want, with the people you want, anywhere you want. That's why we're investing in the next generation hardware lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. I am thrilled to share that we've established a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to co-engineer silicon across the portfolio of devices. Together with AMD, we're advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation to unlock a deeper level of visual quality. Ugh, this is so boring to read. Better in a video. An immersive gameplay and player experiences enhanced with the power of AI. All while maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games. This is all about building a gaming platform that's always with you, so that you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device. That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. The next generation of Xbox is coming to life, and this is just the beginning. We can't wait to show you what's next. So, just to finish up the article, they've been targeting a 2028 launch window for the next console, according to the transcript that was released as part of the legal battle that was with the FTC, or the Federal Trade Commission, to those who are not in the know. Increasingly, Microsoft has adopted a multi-platform approach for its first-party games. We all know this anyway. And basically, Phil Spencer reiterated that the company won't rule out any first-party game coming to other platforms. That's just to sum up the last part of the article. So, so just listening to this, what do you think this means?
Well, I think it means exactly what they're saying. They're going to use AMD, which is interesting because I too came to that decision. But I just
as many have done in recent times as well, and I'm vastly regretting my decision to go Nvidia.
Well, we all have to learn. I learned, but I got a lot of things to think about. One, it does say across all platforms, which is very interesting. I find that interesting. But I'll tell you this. So I harken back to this quite a bit on this show, but we did get the court documents for the Apple versus Epic thing.
Yes.
Which gave us a lot of insight to the goings-ons with Xbox as well, or Microsoft as well, and Azure and stuff like that. Now, that was like 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
It was a long while ago, yeah.
And they were talking about cloud already then. Azure and all that stuff. And they were going to sell Azure to Nintendo, or not sell to, sell the idea.
They were going to provide the technology available to other companies, which is something that we've now seen in things like Street Fighter 6 working on, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch 2 now. Which
makes me, or it doesn't make me nervous, that's probably too strong of a word. It is notable to me, Microsoft, who is, let's say, whether you love them or hate them, or hardly have nothing, apathetic to them, they have always been ahead, and usually the creators of certain technologies. The fact that they are announcing a partnership that is going to not subsist, but roll in AI this soon, that makes me very nervous. I've said this before. I had this PC built for me. This is just a PC, obviously. This is on a one human being's little tiny level, little tiny speck of a speck. But I didn't know that my computer was being run by AI. And every time I would turn it on and try to load a game, it would crash. Go and try to do something else. It would crash. This would crash. It's a brand new PC. It had at the time, year ago, 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. Top of the line specs because every 2 years I upgrade. Finally, I did a troubleshooting thing and found out that it's in its software. The software is encased in an AI shell.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, I had to go in and shut AI off to make my computer run. This AI that was specifically created to run my computer at the best specs available, the most efficient, with everything, the water cooling, plus the graphics card, or plus the GPU, plus this, plus the memory, blah, blah, blah. It was designed to run my computer at the tip-top, best recommended settings.
Yeah.
And it failed.
Of course it did.
It had one job, and it failed. So you're telling me that Microsoft, and again, yes, I realize that this is a one tiny machine example, but still, you're telling me that Microsoft, massive, big, giant company that's been around forever, has just invested in AI technology that nobody even knows how it works yet?
Yes. In some way.
That's like my stupid dadgum phone. I have an Apple.
Freaking Google Gemini and stuff like that going on at the moment.
I have more than that stupid dumb Gemini. Also, I don't like Gemini. I can't stand it. I have Apple iPhone 16, whatever, the fancy whatever. I don't care. I just
the newest
throw
one,
money.
basically.
Yeah, I just throw money. They give me things. But it was called Apple 16 AI. And I was like, why is this called AI? And they're like, oh, because it has a new AI assistant built in. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. That lasted literally maybe 24 hours, and I'm being generous. It kept flipping my my desktop paper, wallpaper, back to something else.
Yep, quite annoying.
And I had to keep changing it and everything. And then finally I was like, I did a troubleshooting thing. It's like, oh, turn your AI off, which I didn't know you could do. So I went and turned my AI off, and my phone works great.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like it's almost like usage is being taken up. Like,
oh, don't even get me started on that part of the thing. But my little anecdotal evidence, and yes, again, totally realize that, totally admit to that. But my phone and my computer were supposedly top of the line AI, and the AI was poop.
Because it is poop.
It is. AI is poop. But that means that, well, AI for what it's being used for is poop. AI itself, I like. It's the way it's being implemented. So that's what's coming down the line with Microsoft, and I don't like it.
I can tell you. Well, I can't tell you. I can speculate myself on what the AI usage will be, because I can almost. I'm not going to guarantee it, but it's something that's already being utilized and implemented basically at every single machine currently at the moment.
Upscaling or whatever?
DLSS or FSR in the AMD capability.
Yep.
So whatever they are on now, FSR 4 I think it is that they're currently using, or DLSS 5 I think it is.
It's all coming.
Yep. So AMD's version will be that, so no game will natively run at a native hardware. It will be upscaled and up-resed, to a certain point. No natural 60 frames per second. Games will probably run at 30 and then artificially be increased to 60 or 120 or anything like that. It's a cost-cutting method, but games are costing more money, and they're not natively even the the specifications we want as a consumer, which is absolutely disgusting. Games are going all digital, and yet they can't put a game on a disc. So great, fantastic.
And they're not cheaper.
We can talk about game key cards as well, but we won't talk about that right now. But this is a state of the industry that is absolutely disgusting. However, the one thing that I do like from Microsoft is the Play Anywhere thing that they have. Campaign, let's call it. I think the Xbox Play Anywhere campaign that they have with certain games is a fantastic idea. The idea that you can pick up the game anywhere you like, whether it's PlayStation, PC, Xbox for PC, now the Xbox ROG Ally coming in the future, possibly
Which
their next
I may
generation
get.
of consoles. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Start a game anywhere, pick it up anywhere else. So, for example, you start it out kind of like what it was with the Switch. You know, you start it out on your home console and you want to move it elsewhere. Go for it. But this works a lot differently, where it's obviously going to be the save file is going to be on the cloud, so you can switch it between your Xbox console, your PC, your handheld device, your cloud device, such as your phone. Not every game is compatible at the moment, but basically every single game new is pretty much having that, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So for Xbox's case, it's a great idea, because it means that whilst we did take the absolute mickey of it when it first came out, of how if everything is an Xbox, nothing is an Xbox, well, actually, they've gone completely against that and gone, well, actually, everything really is an Xbox, and I think it's a good idea, to be honest. I think people are now getting to the point where they're absolutely sick of console exclusivity. And even I, as a console exclusive person who's spoken about how I like to go out and buy the newest box or whatever, is now getting sick of console exclusivity.
It's the thing of the dinosaurs is how I feel. It's old. It feels ancient. It feels a relic of the past.
So I'm going to do something that I'm going to show this to you, because this is just a behind the scenes sort of thing. So when I was on holiday, you can obviously, for those watching, I had my house, or this room, redecorated. So I had to obviously move a lot of things. I had to pack up my entire desk, basically, to move it around so that someone could get in and paint it.
Yeah.
So that included a certain console.
Yes.
Which has remained in the box for well over 2 months now.
Yeah.
PS5 I'm showing for those who are listening.
Yeah.
Also, I need to figure out how to flip my camera again.
I see that, yeah.
I keep... it's annoying because Discord does it automatically. It's really stupid.
It does.
So, that's remained in the box ever since, and I'm looking at it going, do I ever really want to actually unpack it? Probably not.
Yeah. I've never bought one.
No, and I wouldn't recommend it. There's some okay experiences on it. But Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales, Helldivers 2, God of War Ragnarok, Stellar Blade, Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know, I think Forbidden West is out now.
I think so. It is.
What was that bloody game that they that had the terrible name? The Housemarque game. God, what was it called?
Yeah. I hate all of those names. But yes.
Capcom has Pragmata, so it wasn't Pragmata. God, what was it called? But you know what I mean.
Forspoken,
that was
Forsworn, for
no,
whatever.
that was this terrible Square Enix game.
Returnal.
That's the one.
That's it. Okay, I was gonna say which one's
what
the
an awful name. Yeah.
The lady, the
that
astronaut lady.
All of those games are on PC now.
Yeah, well,
there is no such thing as technical console exclusivity unless you're talking about Nintendo.
Nana got it.
Yeah, that's why I said it, because it's in the chat.
Oh.
Thank you, Nana. There is no such thing as console exclusivity unless you're talking about Nintendo. Nintendo are the only stalwarts to this. And actually, I don't think Xbox are really that out of line. To be honest, you're leaving money on the table if you turn around and go, well, I'm just going to leave it solely on one console. And Xbox clearly realised, and Phil Spencer said this, is that we lost the worst generation to lose with the Xbox One. And I'm saying this quote for, not exactly how he said it, but it was something along the lines of, we lost the worst console generation to lose with the Xbox One because everyone was building their digital libraries on their platform of choice. And we dropped the ball with that.
Yep.
Now, with the Xbox Series, with the Series X and S, you notice how it was all about backwards compatibility, your entire library everywhere, because they're trying to rebuild that trust with their player base and to build more people in, and that's what Game Pass is doing as well.
I will say this, because I was talking about this last week, I believe it was last week, that I have felt zero desire to buy a new console, and I do think I'll eventually buy a Switch 2, not at $430, no.
No, I am actually having a bit of buyer's remorse at the moment on it.
Don't say that, Pete.
No, I am, because someone asked me the other day, it was one of my friends. They were like, who I hadn't seen since the Switch 2 came out. They were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
how's the Switch 2?" And I literally went,
Oh no!
and I was like, "Oh, a couple of weeks after it's come out, and I'm already having buyer's remorse about it. Oh dear, this is not good."
Oh no!
I like it, but like it literally is just a beefed up Switch 1.
It is.
So that's all it is. It's an incremental upgrade, and there's nothing wrong with an incremental upgrade.
No,
I just think
there's not.
that, I think
Price should reflect it.
I mean, I was on Mike Tendo's podcast talking about Donkey Kong Bonanza. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But I had to literally rein myself back from saying it, but I'm going to say it now. I think Nintendo have lost the magic for me. Like, I like Nintendo as a console. Like,
Pete, you're Pete.
No, so there's it's weird, right? Because I don't usually form ideas or form my opinions from other people and stuff like that. I form my own. But actually, it was such a compelling video that I listened to, where the person was like, and I have to find it again and link it in, like, when I can. They said, like, I love Nintendo, they were my childhood, I loved all these experiences, but it just feels like that they're now essentially Disney of the gaming platform, where they have this magic, but they're a soulless corporation behind it.
Ooh.
And I'm starting to feel that way. In a major way. And I'm...
Right.
And I'm starting to look at it and go, well, actually, I want an open platform. I want to do all the stuff that I've wanted to be able to do before. I.e., I want to play on a PC, and I want to play games on my PC or my Steam Deck anywhere I want, which is why this Xbox Play Anywhere thing is looking so incredibly appealing to me right now.
Well, that leads me to what I think. I'm going to speculate for myself. I like what Nana says, but we'll get to that in the next segment, I'm sure. But I think I may, again, not right off the bat, because I'm not insane. No, because I'm fiscally, I'm too much of a tight fist. But I think I could see myself buying a Rogue Ally eventually.
If it's at the right price, I probably could as well. It might even be the case that I go, okay, I like my Steam Deck, but it might be that I trade the Steam Deck to get the ROG Ally because I can play Steam games on there as well as all the Xbox library.
Exactly. That's exactly my way of thinking. That appeals to me.
Yeah, because the thing is, I don't like an open platform like PC having exclusivity, because that's essentially what the Epic Game Store has done. But the fact that I can access my games on the Epic Game Store on the ROG Ally is an appealing prospect, because you can't buy Fall Guys on Steam anymore. I can't play it on there, so the only way I can do it is on there, which is quite annoying. Like, same as Rocket League. Like, Fortnite can go to hell and I don't care, but there are free games that I have on EGS. So the Play Anywhere option, the ROG Ally is looking like a better prospect. The next generation of Xbox consoles, where it might just be, this isn't actually a console, this is a device that you can use any way you like, sounds more appealing to me as a 30-plus-year-old gamer who doesn't have much time to play games as much these days. I'm travelling, I'm doing, like, other things. I'm not always tied to wherever I'm playing console.
Exactly. So that's kind of where I think I'm going next.
Nana, I will get to that comment in a moment, because it will tie into, obviously, one of the other things, which we will do right now, shall we? Because I think we talked to death about that story.
We did.
Because Nintendo announced at the beginning of the week, and then aired it 2 days later, there was a 18 or so minute direct solely for Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is due out
18
next
plus?
Month. 18
You said 18 plus, and I got like,
plus.
what?
18 plus. So there was a Donkey Kong Bonanza direct came out this week, and I have some thoughts. Possibly. So I'm actually going to use a different source for this one, because coming from MikeTendo64.com, who did an excellent roundup. Jack from Mike Tender 64 did a good roundup of obviously what was revealed throughout. So we'll read the article and we'll go through everything that was spoken about, and then we'll talk about it. So the Donkey Kong Bonanza Nintendo Direct has come and gone, and this is not me writing this. Let's just say what a direct it was. So remember this. We got to see more of the game modes like 2-player co-op and a photo mode, and learn more about giant elders and Bonanza transformations. It also showcased some of Donkey Kong's movesets, as reiterated the game's destructible environment and its collectibles.
I do like that.
We also got a big reveal that the odd rock character is actually a young version of Pauline.
Oh.
So there was a companion character which was a rock in the demo that I played, but now has been revealed to be Pauline. So both characters will be fully customizable.
Wait.
Go on.
Pete, that should be the title. Look what Danker wrote.
And nope.
It's the title in my heart. Bananas. Anyway,
moving on.
Yes, continue.
So both characters will be fully customizable with in-game outfits. We're also getting an all-new amiibo and amiibo support.
Of course.
So we'll get to that in a bit. So, what I'll do is I'll read through, because this has been linked on the article itself. Is the actual press release from Nintendo themselves that was sent out after the fact. So we won't read it all. So it says new ways to smash and bash. Oh god, they aren't helping themselves.
Yes.
As Donkey Kong, you'll be able to utilize powerful abilities to smash your way through obstacles, enemies, and even unearthed discoveries. Use dive punch to drill deep into the earth, roll yourself over obstacles, and perform a hand slap to help locate hidden items. You can also tear off chunks of the ground to either throw at enemies or ride on top of them by turf surfing, and more. These abilities can even be combined for maximum mayhem. Bonanza transformations. While this unlikely duo explores the underground world, Pauline can enhance Donkey Kong's destructive ability and even make him temporarily transform through the power of her singing. Collecting gold builds up their banana energy. Whatever. Jesus
That's
Christ.
amazing.
Which allows Pauline singing to activate
amazing.
the transformations, each with its own specialities. Like Kong Bonanza, that makes Donkey Kong super strong. Zebra Bonanza, which makes him faster and lets him dash across short distances. And Ostrich Bonanza, that allows DK to fly and drop egg bombs on enemies.
That's amazing.
Co-op play. By sharing a Joy-Con 2 controller, you and a friend can control Donkey Kong and Pauline separately in local co-op play. Unleash Pauline's vocal blast using Joy-Con 2's controller mouse functionality. You can also use Game Share 1 to share the game and play in co-op with another player locally, even if they don't have the game themselves, and use Game Chat 2 to invite friends online to join you via voice or video chat. By the way, the Game Share option is also available on Switch 1 too.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So yeah, if you're playing locally and you don't own a copy of the game and you only have a Switch 1, so for instance,
that's cool.
I've got it, and I want my nephew to play it. Then he can pick up his Switch OLED, and I can share it with him, and he can play co-op with me on his own system.
Do you have to be in proximity?
Yes, you'll have to be in the same room for it.
Okay. That's awesome, though.
Race to the Planet Core. Legend has it the Planet Core has the ability to grant your heart's desire, so Donkey Kong and Pauline set off a quest to reach it. Pauline hopes that it will be able to return her to the surface, while Donkey Kong plans to ask it for more. But what else? Bananas, of course. Unfortunately, they aren't the only ones seeking the Planet Core. The Void Company is also racing there for their own nefarious purposes. I'm not going to go into it. So we'll talk more about other things to do with it. So there's a load of collectibles basically, so I won't read it in full. So you can you'll find a load of collectibles along the way, such as Banandium gems, which increase skill points. So there's RPG like mechanics with it, where you can upgrade your abilities and other costumes. So there are other new and familiar characters that are appearing, such as Cranky Kong and Rambi. Diddy and Dixie Kong have appeared in the world as well, but to what point is their playability? We don't know. What else? So there's other things. So there's now a photo mode for the game. Okay. They have also included a mode in it called DK Artist. So using bits of the environment that you've picked up, it will go into a stored cache basically, and then you can use them. So you can use a Joy-Con 2 mouse controls to take a break from the action and carve designs into stone. You can even change the lighting and add banana effects to give your masterpieces finishing touches.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there is an amiibo that's coming out, which is a basically Donkey Kong and Pauline amiibo. It does look okay, but I'm not paying that kind of money for it. But they have also revealed that there are other, basically the entire line of amiibos. Every single one that has been released so far has some functionality in the game.
Right, okay.
The Donkey Kong specific ones have different stuff, whereas the other ones will be a little bit more universal.
Right, okay.
But if you own, I think it's the Donkey Kong Smash ones, so Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and King K. Rool, then they will have some degree of different functionality to the others, which is okay, a bit strange anyway. But
yeah,
it's fine. They're obviously still trying to, give you some degree of reason to keep using your amiibos. So fine.
Which is good.
So overall, this was, like I said, an 18-minute showing with quite a lot of stuff on show. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. This didn't sell me in any way, shape, nor form at all.
Right.
And so if you want to hear my, somewhat to some degree, my fuller thoughts on this, go and listen to Mike Tendo's Game and Chat Light, where I joined him and Barry from Impact Game Station, where I spoke about why this did nothing for me. But I'll give a small summary here. I have already played the game and it failed to deliver on the demo. So unless this is fully optimized and like it was at the event I played in April, this is going to be a bummer, because I really liked the look of this game, and now it's and then since playing it has been like, okay, you now need to swing for the fences, and you are not even hitting the first base at the moment.
Oh goodness.
Sports analogies.
Yes, we love them.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's wild though. Okay.
Yeah, so I was a bit disappointed with this, even though there was a lot of stuff on show that I think a lot of people are going to be interested about. But yeah, I'm not sold on this. I have got it pre-ordered. I told you the reason why that pre-order was there. But I will be playing it, so I will report back my full thoughts when it does come out. But I'm not sold on it, let's say, because of this direct. Whereas a lot of people I know were like, yes, this is brilliant, this is amazing, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not. And also, we need to stop putting Pauline in everything again.
Yeah, that is kind of weird to me, even as someone who is on the outside looking in.
Yeah, it's
like,
a bit weird.
Why Pauline? That's weird.
Well, Pauline, in this respect, does make sense, because her original appearance was actually in Donkey Kong, the arcade game.
Really?
Yes.
Wait.
So from 1981... you play as Mario, who is known as Jumpman, and she is the character that you're rescuing. Yeah, that's Pauline.
Yes! Okay, I'm sure you told me that. I am sure you told me that.
Yeah, but they are now essentially possibly retconning the lore, where actually... this is what people have been speculating, that Mario is actually the ultimate villain of that game.
Yes, yes.
And actually Donkey Kong was trying to protect her from Mario.
Look who's arrived.
Yeah, I have seen. So Nana's asked what's wrong with Pauline. There's nothing wrong with Pauline as a character, but since Mario Odyssey, it's like Nintendo forgot that she was a character for 30 years and then went, we're going to put her in everything now.
Yep, it's true.
And now it's sort of like getting a bit tedious. I'm getting Pauline fatigue. That's
I
all.
was gonna make a pun, but I couldn't
Okay.
think of one.
Anyway, yeah,
But,
so Mike appeared at the wrong time.
Well-
He's going to catch the episode tomorrow, so you can listen to me talking about it. I will
was
just
gonna
say, you'll be happy to know we used your website as a source this time.
Yeah, I was gonna say you missed it. We just did like 30 minutes of best friend of the show, Mike Tendo.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right, I'm going to give you crappy news number 1 or crappy news number 2. Take your choice.
I always choose number 2.
Oof, I bet you wish you're not going to want to talk about this one.
Oh no. Let's do it.
Bungo. Bungled again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
In fact, I wish I could call the episode Bungoed again,
Yeah.
or whatever, I don't know.
Whatever.
So
But
Bungie
yes.
has officially delayed Marathon, claiming
Yep.
it needs more time to refine and test the game.
They mean more time to fit AI in it. Boo, 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 boo.
No,
Anyway.
more time to remove that stolen ass
Yeah.
artwork that
Yeah.
they had in there.
That too.
We'll get to
Anyway.
this, possibly. In fact, we will, because I've seen it already highlighted. So, in a statement, the Destiny
Let's go
Studio...
for it.
Oh my god, the fact that they have to say the Destiny Studio, not the studio that created
Bungie.
such amazing titles such as Halo, Halo 2, and Halo 3, and Halo ODST. Back when Halo was good.
Yes. Oh, I miss Halo so much.
Yep.
Anyway.
Quote, needs more time to craft a Marathon into the game that truly reflects your passion. And it will use the additional development time to, quote, empower the team to create the intense, high-stakes experience like that a title like Marathon is built around.
What happened to you, Bungie? You changed, Bungie.
We shall get to this, shall we?
Okay.
So the delay follows mixed feedback from players from the recent alpha test and a significant controversy, not their first one, around
No.
stolen artwork that was found in those test builds. So it was due to release this year on September 23rd for PS5, Series X and S and PC. Bungie had confirmed that the game would be a premium product, though the studio has yet to confirm a price.
Yeah, and it wasn't supposed to
Yeah.
be originally.
So, quote, through every comment and real-time conversation on social media and Discord, your voice has been strong and clear, the statement reads. We've taken this to heart, and we know that we need more time to craft Marathon into the game that truly reflects your passion. After much discussion within our dev team, we've made the decision to delay the September 23rd release. The alpha test created an opportunity for us to calibrate and focus the game on what will make it uniquely compelling. Survival under pressure, mystery and lore around every corner, raid-like endgame challenges, and Bungie's genre-defining FPS combat. No, that's not been the case for a long time.
I mean, they stole from UT. Let's not. I mean, I
Yeah.
love Halo, but
No, they really did.
They did.
Anyway, we're using this time to empower the team to create the intense, high-stakes experience that a title like Marathon is built around. This means deepening the relationship between the developers and the game's most important voices, our players. Over the next few months, we'll continue closed testing, including participants from the alpha, to deploy gameplay updates and test new features as they come online. So, Bungie's statement go on to reflect the areas of Marathon that it will be focusing on with its additional development time. This includes improving the survival gameplay by adding better AI, more rewarding runs, and strategic
what did I tell
combat.
you?
No, I think it means in terms
I
of
know
like,
they mean
yeah,
AI
yeah.
players, but
Yeah.
still.
It also says it plans to double down on the Marathon universe with improved visuals, more narrative storytelling, and a darker tone, and it will add more social experiences to the game, including a better experience for duo plus solo play and proximity chat, which is something they should have frickin' had in the game in the
Yeah.
first place.
Oh, Bungie.
So
What are you doing, man?
So the last bit of the quote is, "You'll hear from us again later this fall, where we can share the progress we've made alongside the game's new release date. Thank you again for your patience and, much more importantly, your passion. Your continued feedback will help us make Marathon the incredible
Passion.
gaming experience
anger.
we all know it can be."
Ugh.
Now,
So disappointed.
the quote that I see, well, it's not the quote I see. Everyone keeps turning around and saying that this game is delayed indefinitely,
Yeah.
which technically is accurate because it hasn't
Yeah.
been given a release date. But clearly, what they're saying is that they're planning to add a new release date in fall this year, which I don't think is absolutely likely. So they've gone.
Nope.
They've basically turned around and gone, "We're going to promise that we're going to show more in there and the new release date. But if they fail to show the new release date in full, then people are going to be furious again."
Yep.
Because it's another thing that they've promised and not delivered on.
Yep. I was jokingly going, "What's happened to you, man? You've changed." But no, for anyone who doesn't know, newer generation players, Bungie used to have a pristine reputation for delivering on promises, for their community love.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first game studios that had community support and its own community.
It's let's just say, it's not the first company that have gone, okay, we're all on board with community updates, patches, and mods, but they're the first ones to actually officially recognise them within the game's structure.
Yeah, and because they would put even community. Now they would put community art in games, in Halo and stuff, but they would, notate it or whatever.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. Things
credit.
like Unreal Tournament had mod support in them, but they were never officially designated or recognised by Unreal.
Right, which
or Epic,
Bungie,
sorry.
Yeah, Epic. And we talked about this before. Bungie backed Rooster Teeth for a long time, and Red versus Blue. They put them in the game.
Yeah, that's
Halo
what I mean.
3.
So they're officially recognised, within the studio structure, and the game code and game modes that were built in Big Team Battle and stuff like that. And some of the weird game modes that they had coming across were all community-driven efforts.
It was like Griffball, but something that stood out a lot to me through the 2010s or whatever you want to call it, before they switched to Destiny. But even the early days of Destiny and the early days of Destiny 2, they had live webcams before it was a big deal of their office, and they'd have one-on-one, almost direct, kind of like Bungie directs, but they weren't called that. They weren't called showcases. They were just called community updates.
Yeah.
And the team would get on, video and talk and all. I don't know. It just the vibe was so good, and the quality games they put up, whether you like Halo or not, and not everyone does, that's fine. Or if you like Destiny or not, that's fine. You can't deny that they aren't quality, complete, full games that were put out on time. Okay, Destiny 2 got flaky at the end.
No, Destiny 1 I wouldn't say was a full experience, but it was a live service at a time that live service wasn't necessarily massive.
I will absolutely grant you that, especially when they hired what's-his-face to go,
Dinklage.
Wizards? Yeah, Peter Dinklage. Wizards on the moon?
Wizards on the moon?
Oh gosh, go listen
to
that. Go listen to that line delivery on YouTube. It's terrible.
Yeah, and then they changed it to Nolan North, didn't they?
Yeah, but they had to. It's bad. But none of that's my point. My point is, when I say jokingly, "What happened to you, Bungie? Why have you changed?" I'm not kidding. There's legacy, decades of legacy, and then something happened. This is before Sony bought them. They just went.
Oh, it's easy to
nosedive.
Oh, it's easy to know exactly what happened. All the main studio heads and all the people, all the creative people, all left. When
they did.
I'm not interested in doing this anymore. They probably saw that the writing was on the wall at a certain point. They were like, well, if we're creating Destiny, fine, but we're not going to create anything else at all. So and this is the only time. Mark this one in your calendar. 22nd of June, 2025. The only time that I'll ever commend Neil Druckmann for making a decision where he said, I'm not making a Last of Us live service game because it will pull all our resources and we'll never make anything else.
Yep.
He was correct.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
There you go. But that it's very difficult. I'm kind of like stuck wherever I say this, but the current live service model that Bungie is using, and Bungie are the masters at it, is
Used
not
to be.
making them money. It's not making them money.
I,
That's why they sold
has
out.
it really
to
ever
Sony.
made them money though?
I think for a very brief, we're talking about a year or two, it did, and we're talking brought them into the black, and then they turned around and then spent more money.
Yeah, I think the
Because-
problem is that rising production costs in terms of every
Well, they
like
kept-
update that they did for Destiny and Destiny 2.
I was gonna say they kept expanding Destiny 2, and they didn't need to. They needed to chill for a bit, but they got excited, I guess, or saw more dollar signs or something.
Mhm.
Maybe it was greedy. Maybe they got greedy, like everyone in the freaking video game land.
It's also one of the reasons I decided against it. I was like, oh, I'm done with Destiny now because one, the game wasn't that fun for me at certain points.
It's only fun if you've got friends. I mean,
Well, yeah.
when me and Kieran played it, it was fun. When I played it by myself, it was pure grinding. It wasn't fun.
Yeah, but the problem was it was pure grinding because I was catching up on all this lore and history and all that.
Yeah.
And then they were
Yeah.
taking stuff away and expecting me to be happy and
That's-
like, but I can't
yeah.
catch up with the lore then. What the hell do I do?
Yeah.
Oh, and you're telling
Exactly.
me I've got to pay £40 to
Yeah.
to do this new story content that then
Yeah.
is going to be filtered in every week. Well, yeah, fine. The delivery method was absolutely fine. Give me new
Yeah.
story content every week. I'm not that adverse to it.
I like
40
that, but
quid across an
It could-
entire like expansion. Great.
It's not sustainable.
No, it's not
because-
because you're going to spend what was it, 40 quid on Destiny 2 when it first came out?
Not,
Yeah, it
not
went
just
free to
that.
play.
I was gonna say, not just that. When it went free to play, you've got to think of server maintenance, and then
Mhm.
there's updates every week. I think on Tuesdays. I can't remember because that's what you do when
Yeah,
you're
it
in a
was
software
Tuesdays.
company. And that is a huge expense.
Yeah,
Huge.
massive.
And if something goes wrong, and if a couple of times it did go wrong,
Oh,
while we were
majorly,
playing it,
yeah.
that means you're offline for hours, and they're not making money. Every minute they're offline, they're not making money.
Yep.
So it wasn't a sustainable model whatsoever.
Nope.
And that's why they sold out to Sony, and that's why they're going downhill, and I am sad.
And
Because
it's
I
probably going to be the case that after
love
this, unfortunately, it will probably be because I think there was rumours about it last year, wasn't it? that
Yes, there
Sony
was.
were, considering taking them like fully over, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me that after this, if Marathon fails, that's it. They're done.
I think, and I've said this before on some other stuff on the Microsoft Activision acquisition. I'm going to state this with the caveat that I am probably wrong. And fingers crossed I'm wrong. The reason why they're delaying Marathon is not because they're delaying Marathon. They're delaying Sony's purchase of them, or they're delaying bankruptcy, or they're delaying something. We've seen this before in another game, and we saw it during the Microsoft Activision acquisition. It's so hard to say.
It is a hard thing. to say.
It is. What else was it? Was it Borderlands?
No.
But there was another game studio where a big game was supposed to come out. They said, no, it's delayed, just delayed. But then the company folded. And they weren't delaying it. They were delaying...
Oh,
you know,
yeah, they were
bankruptcy.
delaying the inevitable, basically.
Yeah. We talked about it on the show, but it's been years, guys. We
I
got
can't
5 years
remember,
worth
yeah.
of episodes. Yeah. Anyway, my gut says that's what's happening here.
Sure. The final question on this one, then, or the final shape question. Clever. Do Bungie then go? Do we just pull the plug on Marathon as a live service game and just release it as a single player game? Are they going to rework it at all,
think.
or are they done with it? Like they're like, oh, it's
Oh
going to
my
be,
gosh.
it's going to be what it is, basically, an extraction shooter, and that's how it's going to stay.
Watch it be. Cause see, whatever I say is going to be wrong, because remember I said Ubisoft's Skull and Bones was never coming out, and then it came out and it was a POS.
Yes,
That's
it
what
was.
they're
It was
gonna
awful.
do. That's what they're gonna do with Marathon. They're not going to release it, not going to release it. I'm going to go, it's never coming out. Then they're going to release it 5 years later, and it's going to be a skeleton, no pun intended, skeleton, horrible, just awful mess. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. Anyway, final story, and we'll...
Yes.
I don't know if we'll go into major details about this, even though it's quite a big story.
Yeah.
Because we all know that Warner Brothers as a company is kind of screwed in a major way. Warner Brothers Discovery is not in a good spot at all.
No, it's not.
They rebanded Max to HBO Max again, by the way.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So Warner Brothers Games has restructured into divisions dedicated to 4 key franchises: Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Mortal Kombat, and the DC Universe. So on Tuesday, the company confirmed that it had promoted Warner Brothers Games Montreal studio head Yves Lachance to oversee Harry Potter and the Game of Thrones games.
He's a pirate!
While NetherRealm Studios head Sean Himmerich will oversee Mortal Kombat and DC games. Is that possible that we get another Injustice game coming at some point then?
I think we will, yes.
Yeah. The restructuring comes during a period of significant overhaul at Warner Brothers Games division. Earlier this year, Warner Brothers Interactive president David Haddad left the company following a 12-year tenure. Warner then announced last month that it's closing 3 internal games development studios and cancelling the Wonder Woman game. So this is as a result of all this nonsense. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War studio Monolith Productions shut down, with its in-development Wonder Woman game axed. Multiverses studio Player First Games and mobile-focused WB San Diego were closed. Parent company Warner Brothers Discovery announced this month it plans to split its 2 companies by mid-2026. Warner Brothers Discovery Streaming and Studios on Warner Brothers Discovery Global Networks, with games coming under the Streaming and Studios company. So, quote, our company is home to some of the biggest franchises in the world, and we are optimizing our teams to develop long-term franchise roadmaps. Don't do roadmaps.
PR.
To delight fans and players and fans of Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Mortal Kombat, and DC games. JD Perrett, Warner Bros. Discovery CEO of Global Streaming and Games, told Variety, "We are very fortunate to have a strong stable of development and technology talent, and Yves, Sean, and Stephen are respective leaders with excellent track records in their areas of expertise. I'm looking forward to working closely with them and the team as we work to make the best games possible for our key franchises." And also, it also did come out as well that David Zaslav, the CEO, or one of the head guys at Warner Brothers Discovery, had a serious pay cut from $22 million a year to $6 million a year.
Oh, I feel so bad for him.
I know, but there was also the stock option that got reduced, meaning his total paycheck was about 40-something million a year to now about 13.
How is he going to live on just $13 million a year?
Shocking. He won't be able to buy food. How can he feed his family?
Christmas is going to suck.
Christmas is cancelled in June.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, restructuring again at Warner Brothers, and not really a surprise.
Yeah.
They are a company that are massively in debt. They are failing everywhere, not just video games. They are failing in movies, TV shows, the lot. There are only things that are, there are only certain franchises that are somewhat profitable, and not all of them are very good.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones has taken a downswing since season 6.
Yep.
They did including House of the Dragon season 1 being okay, but then 2 dropped the ball. The DCEU has been rebooted for a 3rd time, and James Gunn won't shut the hell up.
I don't know what's wrong with him. He used to be awesome, man.
He's a freaking idiot. He's like, I am going to talk about like the Superman movie. It's like, yes, changing the name for Superman Legacy is a good idea, but making the film basically all about crypto is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. If you've seen the trailer, it's bad.
Oh, it's not good.
Bad.
Did you know that
good.
his inspiration for writing that was
Oh
crypto?
gosh. Of course, I'm not surprised.
And yet, sorry, if you're a fan of Superman, surely, and I'm just going to say it in a minute, I'll do it. Your inspiration for writing Superman is because you want an actual good character, like, to do good things for the American people. Truth, justice, and the American way.
Yep. That's
which is hard
Superman
for people who frickin' hate America.
Yeah.
These people in Hollywood don't like their country. So nobody is ever going to write a good Superman movie because they don't like America.
I think the world has moved on from Superman.
But
I still think, there's this whole thing in DC Comics. I'm not going to tell anybody anything new. Where it takes place in the future, and it's old Batman and old Superman and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the thing was called. I've got Injustice in my head, so I have that. Crisis of Infinite Earths, I believe.
Oh, yeah, where you had the Flash going across the multiverse trying to change everything, and he just completely fricks everything up.
But you get to see old Batman. Well, no, I think Batman dies. I can't remember. But you get to see old Superman, is my point.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very poignant because the world's moved on from Superman. And I think that's true. I think you have to recreate him for today. And they haven't done that. I don't know what they created, but it wasn't good.
They won't create anything Superman because they don't care about the character anymore.
Anyway, I don't know about the fate of comic book movies. I think that people need to stop making them for a while, and that's rich coming from me.
No, 100% they do, and it's gonna be like Secret Wars is gonna be awful. Doomsday is gonna be awful.
It's gonna be terrible.
I just have no interest anymore, and that's hard for me to say because never watchers. Mm-hmm. Shameless plug.
It's hard for me to say. I have absolutely adored and dreamed of the day since I was 12 years old that they would start making comic book movies.
Yeah.
Me and random people on the internet, because I didn't have any friends that read comic books. We would make wish lists of who actors that we wanted to play, and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, we did the same thing as well.
Yeah. And when X-Men dropped, I was so excited.
Oh my god, yeah.
When I watched it. But I wasn't that disappointed.
No, the first film wasn't bad.
No, it's not bad. I loved Sam Raimi's take on Spider-Man. I was nuts about that. And then then it just kept getting worse.
No, it didn't.
Everything
no,
got worse.
It didn't. So you say
Deadpool.
it was the early. You say no. Shut up. You say the it was the early 2000s. No, it was 1998. Well, obviously it started a little bit earlier than that because you had Spawn.
I'm so old, Pete.
Like we had Spawn with 95,
right,
didn't we? And
yes,
it was
Blade
in
Dagon
98.
Blade?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
Blade was freaking awesome.
I doubt it was over here in the UK, but in the US, we had a Generation X, which is a Marvel product at the time. We had a Generation X TV movie. I think that was 96, 97. I was so excited because people don't understand. It was not mainstream back then. And that was Fox, by the way.
Yeah.
It was not mainstream at all.
No.
And yet, here's this comic book movie that just drops. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
And then, well, if you wanted to talk about other comic book movies, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was actually a very faithful adaptation because they had the creator involved.
Which is big.
And also,
they should do that.
You've got a good person like Edgar Wright making a movie who's got a visual flair.
Yes.
I think that's where some of it's missing. But also,
did you know he's in Death Stranding?
Yes. Well,
I didn't know that.
I think so.
I just found that out.
But and then you've got things like Hellboy.
Yes, but I love the original Hellboy.
It's schlocky as hell, and some of it's not exactly accurate, but it's still fun.
No, it's not. It's fun. That's it. Yeah. That's what comic book movies used to be. They used to be fun. And then the Avengers happened.
Universe.
Yeah, and it's like, no.
No, the
I
original
don't
Avengers
mind it.
movie is good. Still good.
No, I agree with that. No,
yeah,
no,
but
no,
it
I
ruined
actually,
admittedly, it did
yes,
ruin everything.
yeah. I swear, I gotta look up something right quick.
Yeah, I'll do these comments then because Nana's just put.
Yes,
Good
you
job,
do
Warner
that.
Brothers. I do wonder what this means for their game divisions at this point because man, things are rough even with Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1 was bad.
Yes, it was very bad, but I still liked it.
But he
I
did
loved
say,
it.
honestly, yeah, we need to find a way that Superman fits into the 21st century where everyone hates America.
Yeah.
Honestly, if this fails, let Cavill do one because he knows what to do. He knows what to do, things he's interested in. He does, yeah, but he needs to have carte blanche, which Warner Brothers will never give him.
No, they won't, but that's the thing. He needs to make a bunch of money and open his own studio, his own geek nerd studio.
Yep.
There is a movie, I kid you not. See, I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was talking about the Generation X movie that dropped, which I think was
Generation
96. And I loved it so much. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., 1998.
Yes.
Want to guess who Nick Fury is? Because I know we've talked about this way back. Because we used to talk about
this was
video
before
movies.
he was actually properly rebranded in the comics, wasn't he?
Yep.
So he was the
Yep.
Kurt Russell.
No, but you're so close, Pete. You're so close.
I've heard about it before, but I can't...
Excellent guess. It's David Hasselhoff.
Damn it!
In an eye patch. He looks so much like Kurt Russell. David Hassel effing Hoff. The Hoff was Nick Fury. I almost said Nick Shield. Nick Fury.
He's
I
Nick
kid
Shield.
you not. Yes, Nick Shield. That's the tequila on my brain. So that shows you the level of comic book movies when Pete and I were coming up through the ranks. So I did get excited about the later generations, but right now,
nothing.
It's fatigue. We need a break from it. Just a break.
It's like the Western, too much of it, and sometimes you just need to.
I love Westerns, but yeah, I can't do like binging of.
Now we get rare Westerns, like 310 to Yuma and Unforgiven and stuff like that. Like they're not like the showpiece that they used to be, but when you do get one, you do get a pretty decent one.
They usually are.
And then you get Rust. Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
No, it's not out yet, but it's the one where Alec Baldwin shot someone on the set.
I saw that. Yeah. That I was like, don't. It's a bad vibe.
Why did they ever release that movie? They should have just shut it down and just went, just not even bother carrying on with this. This is a mess.
I think it's probably because he had to pay wrongful death. I bet.
Probably.
I don't know that. That's just speculation on my
part. I don't know,
but
anyway. Right, we're speculating about nonsense.
Yes.
Let's move on and call it quits.
Yes, let's call it, because I am so not.
Yeah, right.
But,
do you want to close out then?
I will close this part out. Thank you so much for joining us, our listeners and our watchers. And of course, remember, you can join us over at twitch.tv/rapid reviews so you can get in on the conversation. Join us in chat.
Like the people have done in this here episode.
Nah, my Tindo, I almost said Bueno again. Danker, Pylord sorta. He just said hi and it was lurking, but that's okay. Yeah. That's another thing. You come and lurk, we'll never know. I don't have the stats for that. But we do thank you for joining us, though. And we hope you've enjoyed this little newsy episode. Our news episodes always do really well. It's crazy. But if you want to listen to like our archive, we have 5 years. Oh, my light went out. Worth of shows to binge on. Which is always fun. I found a new podcast, by the way. It's not about video games for once. We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay, cool.
But yes, this is where I'm supposed to go. Pete, where can they find you?
Well, you'll hear it all at the end of the show, Twitter, stuff like that, or whatever. If you're listening to us, of course. But you can hear me on the other podcast that I do with my friend Kurt Lewin. We're called The Never Watchers. It's a film and TV show podcast where we discuss things that one of us has watched and the other hasn't. We have 2 series on that. Does the MCU and does the movies. Does the MCU will return at some point coming weeks because Ironheart. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I didn't even know it was coming out next week, and I'm like, oh Christ.
I didn't either. I knew it was coming out. I didn't know it was next week.
No, but we will be recording in a couple of days where we're doing A Few Good Men for Does the Movies, and the film is watched and we're ready to record. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I really want to talk about Ironheart so bad.
We shall, but
yeah, not the movie itself.
Well, it's a TV show anyway.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking, like, why? I'm just gonna say this. I know this is not the show for it. Why bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Doom?
Yeah, I don't. No, let's not talk about that. Okay. I don't want to. Okay. Anyway, so you can find that on good podcast players such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Google Podcast doesn't even exist anymore, and some bad ones as well. Good Pods, yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad one. That's a good one.
Pocket Cast,
Pocket Cast, yeah, wherever.
Spotify.
Basically, wherever you find your podcasts, you can probably find us.
I find mine on Spotify.
Me too. Anyway, yeah, we're definitely on Spotify. Kylie, where can they find you when you're streaming?
Yes. Normally this is a much longer talk, but I don't feel good. So you can find me on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays over on my channel, which is twitch.tv/KILEY_WILDE, where I stream Mondays FPSs, Wednesdays Weird Game Wednesdays, and Friday games. I do take community requests. I have a long list I've got some from Danker, I've got some from Bueno, from Brent. And some other people have sent in, so yes, Pete has a request in there as well. I need to go back over that list. But I love it. Love it. Even if I don't answer, Pylord sends me things too. Nana does too. If I don't answer, never take it personal.
It's on the list.
It's on the list. But I get lots of messages from all parts of the universe. And I'm tired. But mostly I just don't feel good this week. I'm really run down from the heat. But I'll still be back tomorrow over on Twitch on my channel, which I've already said. So that's going to do it for us. This is called Kylie's Not Thinking. She's just talking and words are coming out of her face hole. What do I say here? Oh, yes. Thank you for joining us. We've enjoyed having you here with our news discussion. What?
This is me not thinking. This is me saying things out of my face hole. It's
true. All the voices and words come out with no thought behind them whatsoever. I think it's called stream of consciousness. Yes.
That's a Dream Theater song.
So yes, thank you for joining us. We will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast. You can watch the recording of the show live on Twitch every Sunday evening at 7 PM UK time at www.twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. You can also watch the podcast on YouTube, search Rapid Reviews 5534, and you can also watch the video version of the show on Spotify, just search Rapid Reviews Radio. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a rating, or a comment on this episode. You can also follow us on Twitter at rrradiopod, as well as on Blue Sky at rrradiopodcast.bsky.social. Also be sure to visit rapidreviewsuk.com for all the latest reviews and previews.